Doc is back. Welcome to Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis, hosted by Tyrone Robertson. Join Doc and his guests as they discuss healthcare and the Caribbean community every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on caribcast.tv, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and most other popular podcast platforms.
I didn't grow up here, but Broward County has become home to me. This is where I settled. I raised my family here and started my practice here. For over 20 years, I've represented my neighbors, people who needed help in a stressful time. If you find yourself in need of an attorney, reach out to someone you can trust, someone with a proven track record.
When a car accident or personal injury sets you back, call Scott McCullough.
954-989-3435.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's episode of Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis. Doc,
yeah,
how are you this fine day?
Okay, feel a little down a little bit, but it is not post-vaccination syndrome.
All right.
It's not that.
I know it's not that.
Because 2 weeks ago, gone long time since I get the other one.
And you've been fine otherwise.
So it's probably just mental. It's
changes, man.
Sometimes the weather...
Changes.
So you're trying to tell me, as I get older, things change?
I never said that.
But you're right if you did.
I know that. But that's not what I said. I just said changes.
And we put it on women. But men go through the same thing. The difference between woman and men, women have a marker, the period.
Okay.
So we could say it's no, men have no marker. You understand the difference? So for years, we went under the impression that men don't have a change of life.
Well, we know all about that.
Yeah, but a woman got the name for me. She said, Doc, don't worry. All you get menopause. I said, they have no such word. Menopause. And it's amazing. It is something that we need to talk about because things have changed over the years in the world. And we have understood a little more about what goes on in both sexes. But me, I deal mostly with women.
Of course.
That it's unfair because women have something that happened in their life where everybody know the business. You stop seeing your period. And we know the age that it's supposed to happen. Men ain't got no period, but believe me, when you understand why menopause occur in women, you will see there's an equivalent syndrome in men, but we don't have a name for it. I have a name for it, but we'll talk about that. But, it's a good topic. Why? We all living older, at least the ones who live in developed countries. I think women have put 5 years on in their life, and men, of course, we always lag behind them 2 or 3 years. So I don't even believe that statistic because what I'm seeing around me is I would rather call them mature women. I don't use the word menopause anymore.
Okay.
Mature women continue working now for many, many years. As a matter of fact, on the tennis court I go, me and Dr. Alexis, the other Alexis, go play tennis a couple of times a week. And just before Christmas, we walked in there, and there's a white Caucasian lady who's been there last 4 or 5 years, I know her. Mm-hmm. Norma. So we go, what happened? She said, Doc, today's my birthday, I say, oh, yeah? How old are you?
Wait, but, Doc, what you mean? You can't ask a woman that.
Well, listen what she
unless
answered.
She's your patient.
She said, much older than you, Doc. She said, I'm much older than you. Say, you a little boy to me. And I big enough. What little boy? I'm a big man. Right? She was 99 years old.
Wow.
Still working. Drive herself to work every morning when I get there.
What is a while ago? 89 or 99?
Listen what I'm saying. Right? She's in her 90s, late 90s.
Wow.
And still working. Wait, drive herself to work. She gets there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, good. I'm not on the road at
that
time. So.
No, let me tell you, when she reads, she know what time you have. And she always, one thing about her, she, like me, she always have a story for you. So she tell me something happened when she was 90 years old. But the point I'm making, here's a woman, intelligent, enough to hold a good job that require mathematics and things, driving herself, living by herself. Her daughters come and look for her, but nobody ain't living with her. She don't want to live with nobody.
Right,
Her husband died. So that, I think, is what we expect to see in the future. But let's back up a little bit. She was just unique. Women work well into their 60s and 70s.
So let's back up a second.
Yeah.
Because this is the basis of our talk today is on that. The modern woman or the current women. And what we're finding and what I've been asked actually is for us to talk about that.
Yeah.
What is the good or the bad that can be expected now from the modern woman? Because days gone by, you hit 50, you hit 55, that's it.
Yeah.
You're a old maid kind of
Right.
thing. Well, that's
Right.
not the case anymore.
All right. No.
50 is like the new 30.
Right. But the point is that women are constantly, I wouldn't say trying to hide it, but shift the question. Now they are no longer. Women will tell you, oh, yeah, man. And when I try to tell my patient, oh, you're getting up, and she said, no, doc, I don't feel so at all.
Right.
I work, some of them have 2 jobs, then go home and cook and take care, the grandchildren and things like this. So they're acting active life. For instance, Madam Vice President
Yes.
is menopausal. Hillary Clinton is menopausal. Most of your teachers are menopausal. Think of it. Most administrators and people are in the menopause, the females.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, because of the way life is set up, where women in their young years are really concerned with family and children, and then they get loose, and they, in the later part of their lives, they really begin to show their potential. Now, of course, we have the newer breed now who not getting pregnant early.
Well, we're socialized
Yeah,
differently.
exactly.
Now. And some of them are putting career
Right.
before family, which
Exactly.
is nothing wrong with it.
Right,
by the
yeah.
way.
And we need to realize that. So we as doctors, when I say that, and husbands need to realize it, and the public, right, is that this old concept, that's why I don't like the word menopause. This is the first time in medicine I think the women lay people have a better name for this than menopause, because menopause is wrong. They tell you when your period stop. But when I do hysterectomy on a 30-year-old woman, her period stop, but she's not menopausal.
Right.
So I think a better thing that explains it both in male and female, change of life.
Yes.
When I went to Jamaica, that is where all Jamaicans used to call it, in the islands. Change of life. There's a change that occurs in your life at a specific period in your life, both male and female, except that the female have a marker that they could tell.
Right.
The men don't. So we got away for years making jokes about menopausal women and some of the changes that they go through. All right? We were...
I didn't make any jokes about the women. All right? So all you female listeners, I had nothing to do with that. I don't know about the other guys.
But you know what's the best part of it? We hide our change of life under the guise of booze.
Well, yes.
Wait, and we get together and talk about sports.
Yes.
And we lie about what we're doing. And
not me.
Oh boy, I have 9 women, you have none.
No.
Because you're going through pause. Or better yet, change of life. We'll get to the men. But I'm an expert on the women. So I'm just making a case for how we should approach change of life differently in women, now than we did back in my day. By the time my mother was 60, I thought she was an old woman, and she behaved like one.
Right.
She barefoot, band up her head, and we have a little chair. She go in the back there and rock all there, and the children pass and wave to her.
Those days are done.
What? Listen to me. If I had talked that stupidness to Mr. Alexis when she was 60, she'd have beheaded me. And as a matter of fact, she's in her 80s, and the woman looked like she now coming into her prime. She played tennis.
Yes.
Right? She run the office mentally. We're going to come to why I think mature women we need to look at them in a different light. That they're proving now they could be vice presidents, maybe soon to be president, who knows. And they can head One thing I love with Mr. Biden, you see how much menopausal women in the cabinet and all of that.
Mature women.
Right, and all of them go
mature
CDC,
women.
all of them pure mature. Me see no little girl up to this day. All right, so we need to, number one, begin to respect the fact that an aging female is not a non-functional female.
Yes.
She have to make certain adjustments in her life, and that's what I want to do. I'm not only blaming the guys for looking at them, but the women themselves, believe it or not, are not preparing themselves properly for when this change occurs, except the wealthy.
Okay.
As usual, the poor people get the worst of everything. If you look at the wealthy good, they start taking care of themselves long before change your life.
Perfect.
Long before change your life.
Perfect segue, Doc. So let's talk a little bit about these changes and how to prepare for those changes.
Right. The big word is prepare. Normally, women wait until they go through menopause to do something about it.
Okay.
Wrong. Get ready for it. Right? And I could get almost one good thing they have on us. There's a timetable. I could tell them when they start to look seriously at what the changes that are going to come in their lives. Many have no marker like that. And because we lie about our exploits and we there's
We don't
fiction.
lie, Doc. We
Well,
just
a little
embellish.
fiction.
We
A
embellish.
little fiction.
We embellish a little bit.
Like I tell you, at times the misconception started when I was very young. Telling people I have 4 women and I have none. I mean, I'm the fastest runner. I hit the cricket ball the furthest. I'm the best soccer player. No lover like me. Garbage. But that's the way we deflect. Women, because there is a marker, cannot deflect.
Yes.
From the time you look at her age, oh my God, she's 50. By the way, the average age in the United States is 50. Right? It differs in each country or culture because apparently nutrition has something to do with it. It's not all DNA. Okay. Most of it is DNA, but your lifestyle has something to do with it. Your stress level have something to do with it. Mentally, lots of things. Your diet, whether you exercise or not, has a lot to do with change your life. I'm not talking about menopause now.
Right.
That has a biologic clock.
So help me understand then, outside of menopause, which you have identified, what other changes might we see in women
and changes that they should start
to address
getting
or prepare
address long before menopause? You got the point.
Yeah.
One is they feel different mentally. Mm-hmm. They lose their sense of, where's the word I'm looking for? They lose, when they're young, they're energetic, they're ready, they don't question decisions, they move on. As you get older, you notice they say old people don't hit the brakes quick enough when they're driving.
Right.
So insecure about what they're seeing in the mirror, what they're feeling, that they don't feel like the woman they were when they were 25.
Okay.
So prepare for that. It's coming. And it starts long before you stop seeing your period. You begin to lose your confidence a little bit. All right? You will find that little things bother you. A simple thing as, I can't remember. That happens to everybody as they age. That's not because of menopause. But women put, oh my God, I can't remember. I leave my key and my wallet. You just get a little older. This has nothing to do with menopause. And I will address exactly what causes menopause and how this may add the menopausal event, can make all these events more nebulous. They will occur even in men, but since we don't have a date to recognize it, right? It comes and we don't worry about it. Women, they know it's coming, a good timetable, and they begin fussing instead of being preemptive. and learning to do things that will blunt the change in life feelings. And we're going to go through them one by one.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Again, because this is a heavy topic.
Right.
Change of life.
Right. Rather than menopause, this is change of life issues in mature women.
Yes.
That's what I would like to call it.
All right. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back to Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis.
Dr. Ronald Moore and his team at Minimally Invasive Surgery perform laparoscopic robotic procedures with the utmost precision. As a bariatric surgery specialist, Dr. Moore performs a range of surgeries and operations focusing on areas and organs of the abdomen. For gastric sleeve, bypass, and banding, to endoscopic balloon and hernia procedures, call the Office of Minimally Invasive Surgery at 954-797-4220 to schedule your appointment. Minimally Invasive Surgery has 2 convenient Broward County locations to serve you. Call 954-797-4220 to schedule your appointment today.
And we're back to Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis. So, Doc, help me get a better understanding of specifically some of these changes that these women would be starting to see as they're approaching 50.
All right, the one that every woman know about, I'll deal with first, and then I'll deal with some other nebulous things that they don't even know that's part of the menopause going on. One, menopause is simply an aging process of the ovaries.
Okay.
Why? The estrogen is responsible for a whole lot of events in women other than childbearing. Everybody talk about estrogen and think when it has to do about childbearing in your period. Estrogen helps the brain. Estrogen helps your bone. Estrogen helps your metabolism. Estrogen can also play a role, I think I said bone metabolism, how you feel, how your eyes operate, especially the urinary symptom, your bladder, right? Literally every organ system in a female depends for part of its integrity on this hormone called estrogen that is made primarily by the ovaries.
So this change of life is major, and it I guess has multiple angles that it attacks.
That women and men not aware of these things that I just tell you.
Interesting.
Right? It has to do with memory.
So it impacts more than, just...
How about the entire body?
Yes.
I'm sure it does. I only named the few that we emphasize, but it has everything to do with females. The male, same thing. Testosterone is responsible for muscle mass. It's responsible for desire, sexual desire. It's responsible for keeping your bone properly. Equivalent in there. The problem is this, is that, and I don't know why it's designed that way. My theory to my wife, she almost put me out of the house. But I have my own theory that women have a limited reserve of estrogen.
Okay.
We could calculate it. It is made by what is called the ovarian follicles in the ovary. There are millions, hundreds of thousands of them. And in addition to housing the egg, they make your hormones. People think it's only the egg the ovary have to do. The major job of the ovary is to make estrogen. Okay. The side job is to mature and release an egg. All right? But the egg is the egg for pregnancy. The estrogen that is being produced takes care of the rest of the body in addition to eggs. And what happens, because the eggs are limited, women are born with all the eggs, all the follicle. They're in the millions, and they slowly decrease over the years. And then they reach a critical level where they are deteriorating so fast they cannot continue the production of estrogen. So number one, menopause is a gradual process.
Okay.
People treat it like if, boom, I wake up 50, I'm menopause. And no, it starts, if I had to guess, probably from the time you're born. Yeah, wait. However, it don't deteriorate at the same rate all of your life. But the deterioration starts with day one. Less and less and less. But we have found out, you know where the word 35 come from? Everybody, I'm 35. It starts to drop faster.
At 35. Or after.
No,
35.
at 35.
At 35.
And by the time you're 40, it's more than ever. So in other words, once you reach that critical, what we call pre or perimenopausal stages, maybe 10 years before real menopause, it starts to deteriorate.
All right. So,
but listen what happened. But still, it's enough to produce a period, but it's not enough to take care of all the other things. So you're still seeing a period, but you are not aware that menopause is on its way. Changes have started. You just don't recognize them. Why? Because you're using the end of the period as the marker. The end of the period is the end of the period, but the decrease in the hormones is slowly at first going down, and then it picks up a little at about 35. By the time you're into your 40s, it's really going down, and 50, it's gone. Okay. And all of these decreases have consequences in the female body.
So that's menopause and estrogen.
Right, that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? What else can I don't even know how to say
no,
this.
we're talking now.
Do we even have to look forward to?
Yeah, but I'm telling you what this decreasing does now. Mm-hmm. One of the places you feel it first is your loss of confidence.
Okay.
That, and then number one, you get edgy. Things that normally nobody all of a sudden. And we used to make jokes about it. Oh, she's probably going through menopause. It's actually true.
That's a real thing?
Oh, yeah. It's just we need not make fun of it.
Oh, dear.
Because women are losing their confidence. They're feeling a certain way because their metabolism slowing down. They're starting to get fat and don't understand why. I'm sorry, I mean plump. Did I use that word? No gynecologist use it. A little overweight. How about that? I stand corrected. So.
Okay.
And then they can't understand because they're dieting, they run. Right? And I'm putting on weight. I say, you eat too much. Doc, I don't eat too much. Yeah, you eat too much for your age. Because you're still eating like you're 29 years old. You understand what happened here? So there need to be just like the estrogen is going down slower, preparation for menopause need to be a long process. Targeting the things that happen to you. All right? I went through some of them already. Weight gain. Mm-hmm. Loss of confidence and mild anxiety and depression because they look at themselves and many of them don't like what they see. All right? The loss of sexual desire. Not so much performance, sexual desire.
So,
okay?
What is is there any kind of relationship between the fact that women are now working or are more active than they used to be at this age and stage of their life, the fact that they are maybe waiting until later on in their lives to have children, is all of that having an impact on women nowadays?
Of course. That's what we're talking about now, that they need to understand what is happening, right? And don't panic. There are things you can do instead of panicking. And when you start to panic, your mood change. With estrogen too, your sweats. It is important to the thermoregulatory system in the female. So that's why they get hot when they don't have to have the temperature 100 degrees for them to be fanning. If you ever notice in the black church, everybody fanning. Because young black people who go to churches, all of them. You see the fan down south. That mean perimenopause is going on. So they have to prepare themselves. You can't wait till it hits you and say, oh my God, then let me go by Dr. Alexis and find out. I would tell you why you come to me about 5 years ago when you begin to feel it. So how do you find out it's something? Remember, I'm saying it lightly, where you lose confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Women will know what I mean. When you look sometime, even in your relationship, you don't feel confident anymore. Where you didn't worry about certain things, now it's beginning to worry you. Anxiety is associated with loss of estrogen also. So you're beginning to feel anxious, you're a little touchy, you're edgy. You need to know these things are going on, and there are some things you can do for it without medication.
Okay.
And some people do need medication. And if you do, don't listen to the stupid commercials on them. Don't listen to them same people that believe that trash that make them storm the Capitol. They don't look for stuff on the internet. Go to the professionals. You read it, you look at it, boy, that song like crap. Let me go to Ask Dr. Alex. That's why my patients love me, A lady today tell her I might retire. She said, Doc, retire away. No, you can't do this. Why? Because when you come here, talk to me, explain things to me. Right? You need to go to your thing and say, look, I feel like crap. I want to kill my husband. I want to do all. What is going on? Right?
And all along we thought that was just a normal
Yes, and it isn't. But this may start in the 40s. That's the point I make.
Right.
So one of the things you need to do when you don't feel right, you don't diagnose yourself. You never went to anybody medical school. I went 100 years and I still can't do it properly.
Oh, man, but we have Google now, Doc.
Go. You mean Dr. Google and Facebook? One thing. Yeah. Coming back with that. This morning I look again on the TV. Every time I see this, annoy me. And I ask my people, are you getting the vaccine? Doc, I want to wait for what? Wait till dead?
Well, give me their spot so I can go and get mine.
And I am surprised because I'm not talking about uneducated people.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about nurses and administrators. I tell one the other, what are you waiting on? But anyway, the point is with the menopause. When you start to feel different, and it starts somewhere in the 40s,
mm-hmm.
you need to discuss this with your obstetrician and gynecologist. Okay. You're not in menopause, but it's giving you a signal. Make some changes in your life, and we'll talk about the changes a little while back as to what you can do and what you can't do.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back to Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis. For the absolute best obstetrics and gynecology care, call South Florida OBGYN at 954-452-4377. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Winston Alexis, who has been serving the women of South Florida for over 25 years. Conveniently located in Plantation, Florida, the courteous and professional team at South Florida OBGYN are standing by to assist you. Schedule your appointment today by calling 954-452-4377. And we're back to Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis. Doc.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So I think the listeners want to know. They've been holding on.
All right.
They want to know what they can do first without medicine.
All right.
In preparation
Right.
for this change of life.
Okay. All right. First thing is mental. You notice something that's where the confidence and not feeling good and the gray, like in the case of men, the gray hair begin to bother me. I died for about 5 years. I should have kept on. It made me feel better. I got my confidence up. So the first thing is self. Do not look and become old.
Okay.
Right? Get up and make up your face and go and do your nail and, you understand me, wear high heel shoes and run around so that you're physically beginning to look good and feel good. And look at yourself and say, damn, I look good, man. Put on your weave, die where you have to die. Anything that makes you feel. And by the way, don't listen to anybody about whether this is appropriate or not. The only person it need to be appropriate to is you.
All right.
Because your brain that is beginning to feel the changes associated, some with reducing estrogen in your body.
All right.
Remember, you're not menopausal, period still regular. But it starts, and then slowly the period get irregular. So that's number one. Right? Self is number one. Number two, your sexual function begins to wane. And I mean having children. I mean having sex. And enjoying it. Right? And letting it be still an important part of your life. Now that eventually gets so bad that you can't do nothing much on it. You have to learn to enjoy other things in life. Why are you looking at me that way? You think I'm talking? I'm talking about myself too?
No, not at all, not at all.
Maybe that's why I pick up tennis and golf. Anyway, right? So that's number one. That's
number two.
Number two, I mean. All right. The other thing is to you have to get the people around you to understand that you don't feel the same anymore. Right? That you're a little more tired at night. You want to sleep somewhere. Nothing's wrong with that. That's normal. Men have to stop expecting their wives at that age to work a job, come home, cook food, wait for you to come home to eat. No, do like me now. I pick up food on the way home. Honey, you sure you want to cook? I could pick up something by Panera Bread or one of them.
Something healthy.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to tell your husband, I'm not feeling the same anymore. I think I'm going up in age, and I remember Dr. Alexis say I'll begin to feel this way. All right? But there are things I can do. So that's one, right? Look good. Do whatever it takes so that when you look in the mirror, you enjoy what you see. Not what your husband tell you look good. You. If you want to paint your nails in Jamaica colors, and I asked me, say, what them green nails? She said, listen, this is absolutely none of your business.
All right, there you go.
And guess what? I say, honey, you're right. You should have slapped me. It's not my business. You and your children go and do up your nail. If it make you look better. Right, so that's one. The second thing is your sexuality. Right? Husbands need to understand as women approach menopause, they do not feel to have sex as frequently as they had it before. So what does this mean? What does this mean to you? It don't mean giving up. She may need a little more coaxing. You don't want to reach home and say, come, girl, you want to do some, let's lay down the bed. Hold hand, watch movie together, listen to music, drink some wine.
Okay, courting and foreplay.
Right. Mm-hmm. Because the sexuality is one of the things they worry about the most. Oh, my God. Worse if you have a young husband. That's why you have to do like me. I was smart. I get a woman older than me, so I worried about me too. You understand what I mean? I off the hook long time. But the point is you need to make some adjustment in your marriage if you're married or your relationship. And tell them the truth. Look, like I tell people now and they laugh, and this is the truth. My wife and I, it so happen I like it now, going out to eat at a fine restaurant and partaking of some good dessert after, have a drink before, play Rich and Famous, and a little Brandy Alexander after. That to me is more important when I come and you say, look, let's go have some sex. When I was younger, it was completely reversed.
Yes.
Right? So...
hurry up and eat. Let's go home.
Why are you taking so long to eat, girl? Come, man. Now I eating my dessert slow. So I'm hoping by the time we reach up, both of we fall asleep. No, but adjustments in your life. And let your husband know. Look, I just don't feel the same. And again, he swears, a lot of men, you must have a man. No. Man, she just losing her desire for sex. But there's a whole lot more in this world than sex. Because if it was sex alone, I did long time. But I've learned as I get older to enjoy some of the finer things in life. There's a place for sex, but it's not all of life.
Right. So Doc, I'm going to switch gears a little bit on you.
Yeah.
So, obviously, what we've been discussing is a part of your profession. It's a part of what you do all day, every day with your patients and so. How do you see this whole telemedicine, the change in way you will be doing business? How do you see this, I don't know, impacting,
This sort of thing?
Yeah.
Perfect. Women, when they come into a doctor's office, many of them feel the walls have ears.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that I hear that not even husbands hear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the other way around too with men, there's something I tell my urologist, I am nobody in the world will ever.
Right.
And they always have this apprehension that somebody is hearing. That's number one. As a matter of fact, I can tell you what happened. When I worked in the Virgin Islands, one good thing about that, the island is like 3x5. You see everybody every day. You take care of your best friends' wives.
Right.
And they give you feedback. And I remember one time I had my office bed, the bed, facing the door. And one of me, as a matter of fact, I'm best friend, I'm godfather of her last child. One day we playing cards and drinking. She said, Winston, you know something? I see you, when I lay in this bed, lock the door. I see you. But somehow I feel, and when I put my legs up in the air, so that door is going to open and somebody is going to see me in this position. Since then, I have never faced the tail of my table to a door.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm telling you, women, and you have to remember the work I deal with. This is not high blood pressure and thing. That it's very private things
and
we
personal.
talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she can do it better in her own home, in her home bedroom, lock up all her room, and me and she could really have a private talk. So I think as far as sexuality and sexual matters, I think one of the best things could happen is telemedicine. Right? Because women are more relaxed. They talk to me better when they're on there.
So the consultative part of your practice will become...
Yeah, but that's going to be the major part of telemedicine.
Right.
The only people that could use telemedicine as a full product is dermatologists, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
They can take pictures and see it.
Right.
And then if you need something off, say, okay, I make an appointment, come to my office, I'm going to take out this mole or this wart. But most of the specialties, the consulting part,
right.
And this is what we're doing. Good thing you asked this. We did very little consulting prior to the visit.
Mm-hmm.
The consulting started when you get there. So that's at least one extra visit.
Mm-hmm.
If I can consult you at home, right, privately, you could tell me everything, and then I could decide what ancillary services I need, whether it's blood or ultrasound, get it. And when all of this is ready, you come for the final exam and counseling in the office privately. It's just the way we did things going to change
Reverse.
a little,
Right.
right? But anyway, women do not like to talk about sex, and maybe the men is the same, I don't know, when they go to the urologist. I have to drag it out of them. I am telling my audience now, women, talk about this with your gynecologist. Tell them everything. Every single thing. You'll be surprised at some of the questions I ask them. You will be surprised.
Okay.
I mean, lots of private business. And all of this goes into sexuality. That's why I tell you, I sometimes hear things that even husbands don't hear. That they're telling me, Doc, I don't think he'll understand. I say, you ever talk to him? No, but I'm afraid. No. You have to tell him, listen, you want to jump on top of me too quickly. Play with my breast. Yeah, tell him.
Slow it down.
You don't give me no foreplay. What the hell? Don't sit down there and he is all ready and you are just, oh God, let this man finish in your mind. Right? Discuss sexuality with your gynecologist. I can handle all of it. But if I can't, then I know where to send them.
That's right.
There are 6 therapists that I could send them when it's beyond. But the everyday problems that menopausal women have, your gynecologist should be able to give you some answers to some of these.
At least get the conversation
All right,
started.
okay. So we gone through mental, sexual, and the importance of discussion. All of that is about talking.
Right.
Let me get down to some of the nitty-gritty now. For instance, in sexuality, dryness of the vagina interferes with sexual function. That is because estrogen is gone or going.
Okay.
So you need to discuss, Doc, it's a little dry. During sex it burns, but afraid to tell him, or it hurts. You'll be surprised. That you need to say, honey, listen, man. We need to get, Doc say I need to be lubricated up a little bit. And there are medicines he can give me to do it.
Okay, so I always ask the other question.
Yeah.
Outside of medicine,
Yeah.
is there anything dietary or otherwise that can be done to address that?
The herbalists and them going to disagree with me. My answer is no.
Okay.
I've seen some article where you could use olive oil or cooking oil.
No, man, no.
I'm talking about this, but I'm saying, let's talk. Let me tell you, because this is a huge issue in menopause.
Yes. That's why
This and sleeping, insomnia is the 2 biggest problems we come down to. Right, so this one can be treated with medication. Now, estrogen is the absolute. Simple. You're making it, we give it to you.
Okay.
But there are a whole lot of negative things that come along with estrogen that people on Facebook and them tell you that ain't true. Right? And you need to stop that. Come on, let your doctor explain to you whether he think estrogen is the best thing. Ask him all the questions you want in the world. Right? And I always end up by giving family explanations, even though my wife tell me don't call her name no more.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but that lady took estrogen for 15 years. And she's now 84 years. Well, 64. Her birthday is next month, too. Not next month, March. Anyway, I'm sorry, that lady. No, but look how many years. Husband is a doctor. Every female gynecologist I know over the age of 50 take hormones. Everyone.
Okay.
And not only that, the elite, all the movie stars, all the people with money take. You don't hear them drinking mango bush and buying 2 pieces of bush down the road. So what's up this? And they have enough money to get the best care in the world. But you understand what I mean? So discuss estrogen reduction, right? And what can be, because to be truthful, that's the absolute cure for it.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else in again?
Yeah.
We always talk about our core things.
I know.
Diet and exercise and these
That's
things.
what I was going to say. We shouldn't, and we're not just doing this. These play major role. Even if you're skinny, you need to exercise because it does something about estrogen production. And it calms the brain and it helps you to sleep better. So exercise, not when you go through menopause, when you start to see the early signs, start doing it. Good exercise, good food, and good mental practices is what you need to do mainly for menopause.
All right.
And remember, these women working.
Yes.
Right, so they need to be able to, and let me tell you, nothing give you a kick like estrogen when you're menopause. Get up in the morning, you're full of energy. But women afraid it because they listen to all this nonsense on the TV. The whole point is, though, to end, the point I'm making, it is not a process that starts immediately. Oh, I'm 50, I don't see my period for 3 months, I have menopause. It's been going on for years. It's been giving you signals. Discuss it with you. Make some changes in your life. Eat properly. Exercise. Relax. Go on vacation. De-stress yourself as best as you can.
Start your preparation for this early.
Right. And the rich people do.
Right.
And the educated people do.
And it really boils down to what we've been saying over and over and over again. again, the core things that you want to do.
Yeah.
Just for good health.
And you should be doing that since you're about a teenager.
That's correct.
But
That's
in
correct.
case you forget, start when you get somewhere between 40 and 45. Women should be beginning to brace themselves. So when the changes come, oh, that's what it is, eh? I don't feel like sex anymore. Doc told me that would happen, you know. Ain't no big crisis. Let me go chat in here what you have to offer me.
All right.
But educate yourself on the menopausal process. Not so much the hormones, but what is happening to me? Why do I feel this way? And insomnia. Again, estrogen is the big culprit, is one of the biggest problems in menopause for women.
Okay. Well, Doc, on that note, we have come to the end of yet another episode.
But I want to start cussing up my community now because they're not listening.
All right, Doc. Take a minute.
All right. Vaccine, go and get it. Number one. I don't want to hear no nonsense but chip in your arm and going to the moon. Who the hell care about me and you don't put chip in my arm? You put chip in big shot people, what name? Gates and them. You put chip in me. All I do is drink a little rum and play my ball. Nobody ain't interested in me in America. Go and get the doggone thing. Common sense. When you see professional, it's me. I ain't taking something that I ain't know about you.
I agree.
Come on, man.
I agree.
Go and get it. It is important. And all you're keeping me from being able to go out of my house and drink my grog on a Friday night.
All right.
So I have personal reasons for this to go and get the vaccine. It will not kill you.
All right.
Driving your motor car is more likely to kill you in a crash than taking some vaccine. That's number one. Come on, people. Right? Number two is educate yourself, not just with menopause. Any medical condition you have. Everybody with high blood pressure should be an expert on it.
That's right.
You can get the information. Go out and educate yourself instead of watching that Facebook and all them stupidness in the night. Go.
Reputable sources.
Yes. WebMD.
Mayo Clinic.
And Winston Alex. No. By the way, we need to talk some politics, you know. I talk about local election.
Yes.
West Indian Americans having some elections about the place. And I don't understand it. Lauderdale or somewhere, we lose some of them seats. All you mad? We have to get involved in political processes in our towns and villages that we live in.
That's right.
So we're going to talk soon about who's going to run where and what.
Okay.
And what we expect of you and what we expect of them.
Indeed.
Because it's a two-way thing, right?
That's right.
A song in good to you?
Yes. Get involved, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen. Get involved.
And more than ever, check Caribbean Connection. These guys involved in all kind of thing here. So I hope...
Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis has been presented and produced by the Caribbean American Connection. Until next time, stay safe.
We appreciate your time with us on Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis, hosted by Tyrone Robertson. Join us next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on caribcast.tv, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and most other popular podcast platforms. Doc is back. Although the host and guests are qualified professionals, they assume no responsibility for inaccuracies, omissions, inconsistencies, and any slight of people or organizations. Listeners should use their own judgment or consult an expert or their personal physician for specific applications to their individual medical problems.